In the last episode of Pixar's Adventure Park, we finished off the Monsters Inc area, which included some final touch-ups to not only the ride, but Monstropolis as well. Hello everyone and welcome to Pixar's Adventure Park episode 6. Today we finally get to move on from the Monsters Inc area. And as you saw from the thumbnail and title, we are going to be doing a Cars themed area. Now before we get building, I'm just going to give you a little plan on what we're going to do. So this is going to be kind of based off the Disney California adventure cars with Radiator Springs around about here. We're going to have a Radiator Spring races ride, and then we're going to have some flat rides over here. It's going to be really awesome. But we have lots to do in this episode, so let's get started. First of all, we just got to extend this road. And what I'm going to do is have this road kind of curve up to the right here, and then have the entrance like around here, and it's going to come down on an angle. So we'll place these down. Something like this should hopefully be good. That is a very smooth curve. And then for cars there, we'll make the road divert maybe around about here. I think should be good. Now all we have to do is extend this road to around about there. So maybe that I think should be pretty good. So we've got the path here, which is going to be leading off to another land up in the corner here. Then we've got this, which is going to be Radiator Springs. Now, due to the space restrictions, I'm going to have to make a smaller version of Cars Land. I really wanted to do the whole Radiator Springs races ride, but it's really just not going to fit in here like at all. So I'm going to be doing a smaller version of it, same with this sort of area. Before we do anything else, I'd just like to map out where I'm going to put all the buildings. So I have now blocked out the basic sort of like map that I'm going to be building, and unfortunately because the road isn't able to go far enough, I have had to remove some certain buildings like Mater's Junkyard Jamboree, which is fine anyway because they don't even have the ride model in the game. If I was going to build it, I'd probably just use the Twister, and that's not even like related to cars at all, so it's fine. But over here we'll have the Cozy Cone Hotel, which will have food. Here will be Luigi's, which is going to have a ride behind it that I've got planned, which is going to be really cool. Then here you've got some pretty basic retail shops. You've got Flo's V8 Cafe, which will be around about here. Then you'll have another little retail shop here. And of course the main ride of the area will be back here. One thing I need to add that I haven't put in just yet, there's another road here. And I'm going to make this road the entrance for the lineup, which will be about here. And then we'll copy this to the other side as well. And this will pretty much just lead you to here, which is going to be the little food area. And it'll have a little viewing court of the ride here. Now all we have to do is get a dark grey sort of concrete color and paint the whole road. And then we'll paint these roads a bit of a lighter grey. And also for that extra detail, we'll just quickly add some of these bad boys in. Now the first building I think I'm going to build is the one down here at the end, and I think it's the fire department. Now this is a pretty basic looking building. Building is made of brick, so we'll quickly add that. To add some more detail as well, we can use some more of curved cylinder pieces. Just like that, works awesomely. Also on this main part of the building, they've got this sort of window. So I'm going to use the new primitives to like make the frame of it. There we go, that works. And then we'll get a cylinder, add it around about here, paint that the same brick color, make a little roof just like that. Then all we have to do is just copy this all the way down to there. This new rotate thing is so good. And finally we can just clean this up, and just like that, that looks pretty nice. We'll add in the garage door as well. And on this middle one, we'll add in some glass that they've got on it. Now that we got the main part done, we just got to do a little side building. Now that we got this side done, we can just grab all of this, copy it, and put it on the other side just here. There we go. So now that we got this done, let's move on to the front of Luigi's tires. So this building seems to be a bit of a simpler design, so we'll quickly get this done. I'm also just going to make this the entrance for the flat ride that I'm going to put back here. So something just like that should be good. Then we want to get this like pasty white sort of color, just like that I think should work. And then on the top here we'll add a cylinder. We will then smooth out using these pieces just like that. We will then just quickly make the doors while we're at it, which use a like sort of like aqua color, like this should work. We'll grab some glass, put that in, and copy that to the other side just like that. Is looking pretty good. We'll also grab some of these, which we'll place maybe around about here. And then we'll replace the colors just to make it like that. Actually thinking of it, I want to make it a bit more green, like this. There we go. We'll also make these pillars on the side here, which had a tire on the top of it, like that. Also copy this tire and put it on the top of here. And then we can copy this whole pillar and copy this to the other side. They've also sort of got like these garage doors on the side. Then using these new primitives, we can get a perfect curve like that, which we'll paint the wood color. Then we can copy these poles up to the very top, which then we'll put concrete back on top of. And then we just will fill this in. And last of all, on top, they've got like these shingles. Although this looks very flat, so I'm going to do these myself. We'll grab all these and just start spamming them all the way across. Now that I've got that, what I can do is just go through and change some of the colors of some of them. Now that we got that done, we can just copy this pillar over to the other side, around about here. And then we can copy all of this over to here, around about there maybe. There we go. This is looking super good so far. We can, of course, do the famous fire tower. So it starts off with maybe like 3 like that. Now, pretty much, we just got to copy this up a whole bunch of times. Then around about here, we can start to rotate them because, of course, this is the leaning tower of fires. Just like that, we got that done. Move this in just a bit closer, maybe put it like here. Then what else we can also do is just grab some tires and stick these around everywhere. And of course, since this is going to be the queue, we just got to enclose this building. There we go. I'm pretty sure that is pretty much the Luigi's done, except for the fact that I might add a logo in, but I'm going to do that off camera because it's just making stuff Photoshop and then putting an image panel down. Now that we got Luigi's done, we can move on to here, which we're going to build Ramon's House of Body Art, I think it's called. Now, this shop has a really weird sort of design. It's got this curve, so I'm just going to do that using these parts like this. And kind of like that, I think should be about right. They're very sort of like tan color like this. Something like that I think will work well. Now we just got to grab all of this and copy it up to around maybe, I think, here. There we go. That will work. And then pretty much I just got to add a bunch of pillars into this. Something like that I think will work fine. Now for this shop, I'm not going to have an inside of it because it's pretty pointless. There's going to be nothing in there. Not only that, it's going to save the item limit, which I'm already kind of worried about. We're around about 1 megabyte already, which is just not good like at all. So we want to try and save as much as possible because I actually want to be able to finish this whole park. Add in some glass into here. There we go. That looks great. And we can move the glass over to this side as well. Now another detail they have on this shop is they've got like these I don't know what you would call them, little overhangs like this. Also add in some little pillars here as well. And now we can just copy this whole thing, spin it and place it on the other side over here. There we go. That looks great. Finally, we'll quickly just fill in the roof up here. And then we can add this big thing that they've got on the top of it. So it's kind of like this. And it goes up and gets a bit thinner. And then it turns into a cube, which is pretty damn tall. Actually, now looking at it, I'm just going to grab all of this and just shrink it down a bit because I think I've made it way too big. Something like that size I think looks a bit better. And of course, this is that same concrete color. Then on the top here, I'm going to just add pyramid just like that, and we'll also place one down here. And then we can also place one at the very bottom here, just like that. There we go. That makes it look 10 times better, just like that. Now, before we enclose this all off, we got to make the inside just to have something to look at. So I'm going to copy down this roof just to make it the floor. We'll make this some basic little wood color. And then we're going to have to give this just a bit of a backdrop. And we'll make this sort of backdrop thing a darker version of this color. There we go. And what I'm going to put in here is in the pictures I see, you can sort of see like a bunch of different hoods that have been colored and textured. So we'll just make a bunch of those just to add a bit of color to the building. Something simple like this. And we just make this a very vibrant red, sort of like that. Just going to copy this a bunch of times. We'll make one like a green color. We'll make one maybe blue. And then we'll make one yellow. Just like that. I'll group all of these. And I can just place these inside of the building now. Yeah, that is a very basic little Ramon shop. And now that we've got the building made, we just got to put the path underneath it, which we can just copy from right here. And then put it down just like that. What I'll also quickly do is just fix up the end of the road just here. And just like that, we've got a pretty smooth looking road. Now that we got the road finished, we can work on the Cozy Cone Hotel, which is going to be quite fun. And the first thing I'm going to build is the sign that is out the front. So we'll start with a simple little base like this. We'll then have a pole that goes all the way up to around about there maybe. Then next we have to build this little refrigerated air sign, I think it says. I don't know. We'll place that in around about there. Make it a little smaller. Place one there. And one there like that. And we'll quickly just color these just like that. Okay, that's looking nice. Then just up a bit again, we have a no vacancy sign, of course. Just around about there. And then above that, we have the actual sign, which we can slowly start to make. But before we do that, I'll quickly just paint this the orange color, just like that would be nice. Now we can work on this. So this is where it says motel. We'll also quickly just add some little, like, I guess you call them trims. Paint the inside of that the same, like, sort of bronzy color, except we'll make it more bronze, I think. Like that. Yes, that's perfect. Of course, we can paint this one as well. And then the outside of this is just a bit of a lighter bronze color. And then we have to build a cone. Something just like that should work perfectly. We'll copy this up to the same height and just shrink it down. And then we just have to make this that same orange from before. Then all we have to do is fill this cone in. There we go. This is looking so clean so far. Now the last part of this sign is pretty simple. This will make a more pasty color, maybe like that. We'll also make that the same pasty color as that. Oh my gosh, that is so nice. I'm so happy with that. Now that I look at it, I realize I put it on the wrong angle, so we just got to fix that quickly. Copy this over there here because I do not want to accidentally delete it. Then all we'll do is just put it on its side like that. Maybe put it round about here. Should hopefully be good. There we go. That looks so nice. The next step is we got to make this into a grass. For some reason, they have this little grassy field just out the front, so we'll quickly make that. Now that we got this, we can put one of these new primitives in. Just around about there. And then we'll flip this to the other side as well. There we go. That works perfectly. We'll then just make this a basic curve color. Then I'm just going to grab some bushes and just place these in here randomly. Now we just got to make the fence that's on this, and it's a very weird little fence. There we go. That looks awesome. But with the rate I'm going at, I am definitely hitting the file limit. Now that we got that, we'll work on the little house that's just here. I think what I'm going to have to do is just push these cones back maybe to around there should be good. This little building here is very simple, and in real life I don't think you're able to go in it. So I'm not going to make an interior for it like I kind of did with that building because it's not really important. And then we will change this frame and put it on an angle because the whole building's on an angle for some reason. This building is honestly such a weird shaped building, but I think I'm doing alright. There we go. I think that's pretty much the frame of the building done. So we'll just paint this into like a pastel yellow sort of color. Then on the back here, we'll start with the walls and just make this enclosed. And we'll make the enclosed walls just a lighter color of that same pasty yellow. Now looking at it, I've realized I've built this wrong. It's meant to have like 3 of these sections. But I'm too far in to change it, and I'm sure it's fine. I don't think anyone's going to really pick that up. Before we fully enclose this as well, we'll quickly just make a little inside for it. For this, we can use these nice little tiles, and we'll just make a little like bench in here. Something like that, something very basic and nice. And then inside of here, I'm just going to place some random things, like a couple of little cones just on the table, I guess. I think that should be good. Another thing I could place is they've got these like sort of plant pots in the corners that are upside down cones. So I'll place 2 like that maybe, and then we'll grab a tree. And then of course we'll need to add some dirt into here, just like that. And then we want to make sure none of these trees are sticking out of the edges. There we go. That should be a nice little interior, I think. What I will do though is change the glass transparency a bit just so you can't see in it too much. Now that we got that, we can build the roof. which is a very simple design. The underside of this is painted like a clear white like that, and the top is just the normal color. And there we go. I think that's a little building done for now. It's very simple and there's not much else to really add to it. Actually, there is one thing I can do. This has more of an overhang, maybe just like this. Now we've got this, we gotta work on the cones. And this is one thing I've kind of been scared about building actually. And the reason for that is just, I wanna make a nice looking cone and it's gonna be pretty difficult to do. So I have a bunch of different ideas that I'm gonna be trying. The reason I'm not using the primitive cones is because they're just very pointy and I don't think they look the nicest. Alright, I've been playing around with making custom cones and I've now got this sort of design. And I'm hoping if I start to copy this around, it should fit in perfectly. And it does. Oh my gosh, that is so nice. I swear, if this has too many parts in one area, I don't know what I'm gonna do. That is so perfect. I'm like actually surprised at how nice this looks. Now we just grab this orange and we can paint this whole thing orange, and oh my gosh, this is just incredibly satisfying. Now all I need to do is grab some sort of sphere and put it on the top like that. We can paint that the same orange. We now have a lovely looking cone. Now we can just paint the bottom orange, and then what we can do is just add some extra details onto them. Like on the side of it, we can put like a little window. We can also just copy this to the other side as well. I think will look nice. There we go. And of course, this is a food location, so we're gonna make a little window for where you can get served food. And there we go, we got a nice little window, so we'll just make this look a lot cleaner. It kind of looks like a mouth and eyes. We'll also just chuck one of these onto it. Then of course, we just need a person in there working, which will just be me. We'll of course make a little ceiling on the inside, which we will then just grab some sort of light orb or something. Put it on the inside, and then we'll turn the brightness of that just down a little bit. There we go, that's looking awesome. We'll come over to here and we'll go grab a cash register, and we can move that to the inside of the cones. Maybe around about there could be nice. Then there we go, that is the cone done. Now all we need to do is put these in place all the way around, and there we go. That is the cozy cones out the back done. Oh, and we also just gotta copy me over to each one of them, I guess. There we go. I'll probably change out my skin later, like put on like an official uniform or something. Could be pretty cool to do, but for now I think they'll work really nicely. Now all I need to do is grab the pathway and place it down all along here. We'll also put in the curb on the road around here. Now that we got that, we can start placing the paths down. All right. So I've done the path here now. That is pretty much this building finished. Now this building is looking quite plain, so what I'm going to do is add some extra greenery on the sides here, and then maybe put some seats back here just to add a little something. So we'll quickly just start with some extra little grassy area. Now that we got this little thing built, oh gosh, we just copy this over to the other side. That's perfect. So I've pretty much got this building done, but I'm not going to finish it just yet. I'll probably complete it once I start building Luigi's, as I might add some stuff back here, like a little seating area or viewing area for the flat ride over here. But other than that, I think I'm finished for this episode. I was originally going to build the whole sort of area, but these 3 buildings alone took me so long, and the video's already like 20 minutes long. So next episode, I'll build Flo's V8 Cafe and the other little buildings here, and potentially even make a start on the flat ride or the actual ride itself. If you enjoyed this video, then remember to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next episode of Pixar's Adventure Park.